Ordis has been counting stars, Operator. All accounted for.
I have just detected signatures matching the new drone. Gather scans of it to determine its origin and capabilities. I've marked the signatures on your map. Gather scans, but approach with caution, Tenno. I'm not getting a good read. Is there an object they're pulling data from? Scan it for me. It is just old war wreckage. Why are the Corpus suddenly interested in it? Tenno, another scannable signature just appeared near you. You may be able to determine what the Corpus are up to. I'm not getting a signal, but if you found a drone, scan it before it notices you. What did you see? My data stream went dark. I am sensing some signal masking. It will take some time to decipher. Concentrate on your mission for now. This thing is not a Corpus design. If we can get another scan, I can determine its origin. Tenno, I need you to scan another drone. I'm not getting a signal, but if you found a drone, scan it before it notices you. Good. I'm putting the scheme together now. It is an oculist. That means... I'm sorry, Tenno. Stay safe.
Hello? Did the Lotus just abandon the operator? Get cut off? I have extraction ready. I think you should hurry.
The ghost you saw is of a menace long thought dead. They study us, study our enemies. Let us sharpen our knowledge of them. Are these ghosts mere echoes of the past? Or are they more sinister, harbingers calling for the old beast to awake? Here, this console will serve my purpose. Unlike your Lotus, I will not keep its secrets from you. Exercise your training. Defend the console.
Operator, Ordis knows what it is like to be abandoned. Don't worry, someone has offered to help us.
So, pupil, the spring has ended. The Lotus Blossom has snapped shut, her true nature revealed. Now, we shall see if codependence can be broken. Let us begin to unravel her long-hidden truth. The Grineer have plunged these depths and awakened an old evil submerged here. Capture the Sergeant. He will know where this tomb is.
Teshin, you don't have the authority. You were endangering the Tenno.
So, the petals have opened once more. But why now? Afraid of what we'll find?
I had to cover my tracks, but I see that Teshin has been leading you into an even greater danger.
The beast soon stirs, Lotus, revealing much. It will awaken and become whole again.
The sentient.
You know this one, don't you? He knows where the tomb is. Apprehend him. We have our target. Advance to extraction.
Get to the waypoint. I will give you further instructions when you get there. You've reached the waypoint. Access the system.
Knew it. Little lizards can't resist another chance to get their sticky hands in my jar.
Those cut off life support. Hold on, Tenno. I'm readying extraction, but this will take time.
The sentient. The destroyer. The liberator. Depends on who you ask. But this thing is certain. I will have its secret. Funny, isn't it, Tenno? I'm cracking open the sentient's tomb and sealing yours at the same time. Not laughing. Well, I don't know. I find it funny.
It's not a tomb, Rhaegar. It's a cage. If you open it...
Is that Teshin? So... the pseudo-Tenno lives! Still drunk on your own honor? Shocked it hasn't rotted you through yet. So, the sentient, nasty thing, came from where? Who cares? They smashed the Orokin, freed us. How? How'd they do that? I want to know.
Another life support capsule is now...
Drilling. Hundreds of hours and just cracking through the sarcophagus now. Open wide.
going for a while.
Entering. It's massive. Empty. Where are they? They escaped? Wait. What's this?
Don't do it, Rhaegar.
Exolus. Some primordial former. An engine for self-manipulation. What will it do for me?
What has he found?
What was that? Not alone. Who was there?
Master, you cannot hide from me.
All of You retreat now!
Nata, who have you become? Does this form remind you of what you once were? Time has carried my seed so very far from the branch.
Speak, Lotus. The pieces are set. It is your move.
Till Regor must be stopped from entering the tomb. I have to risk exposure to stop him. Go. A focused blast could release the magma flows beneath and rebury the tomb. Protect the bomb during its lengthy arming process.
Those who pilfer meat from lions are either foolish or starving. Which are you, Regor?
Nata, why did you betray me? Why did you not finish the sequence you started? Why did you stop at the last?
What is it talking about, Lotus?
We crossed the gap, wombs in ruin to bring an end to this. We severed worlds, let them destroy me. Why is the sequence not complete?
Most intriguing, Lotus. Do you two have a history?
My own daughter, the last of my womb. How can you do this?
Lotus, what are you not telling us?
Focus, Tushin. We need focus. Hold on, Tenno. It's almost armed.
You betrayed us. As I awake, so will they. They will say you are Riven and want to reclaim you. I will not be able to stop them.
Nata, Lotus, you cannot hide this past any longer.
There are gaps. I had my mission, and I have completed it. All but the last sequence.
To destroy the Tenno.
The war was over, so I hid them away in the second dream. I could not destroy them.
And yet, you were born to. So tell me, what made you stop to reject your nature?
All missions to the Origin system required a sacrifice. Me and my kind become barren when crossing the gap. It is the one flaw we never overcame.
Nata wanted children of her own.
Nata was the daughter, until I destroyed her. Now, I am the Lotus. Now I am the mother.
Tenno, you seal my tomb. You kill my two men. Not acceptable behavior. Our differences need to be settled. So, you know where I am. Come, get me. Just try.
Tenno, you know where Till is. When you are ready, destroy him.
Hello and welcome to the extra part, where I'll attempt to summarize everything that's happened. Okay, we go to the Underworld tile set and we'll find these Oculists, the scouts for their sentience. We can assume that the Tile Rigger has gained the attention of the sentients in his efforts to drill and find their secrets. And when we do find these, it bothers the Lotus. She's a little unnerved by their appearance, and asks us to investigate them, thus starting the quest. The first mission is simply going through the Earth tile set and scanning more oculists and other strange monuments, which she brushes off, but when we find to scan the last oculist, she confirms what it is and is in fact sentient, and she ups and disappears, leaving us hanging in the balance. Doesn't even care. And when we get back, she's nowhere to be found. Teshin steps in. Teshin, who is the quartermaster at the Conclave, the PvP Conclave, steps in to assist us in our time of need, because we are Tenno, we do not have really much of a will on our own, we must be commanded. He steps in and knows that there's something gravely wrong if the Lotus has up and disappeared. He commands us to gather more information on the subject of these creatures, which we learn the sentient later on. Upon learning the Grineer's fishy intentions, one of the Grineer actually reaches out to us, the Sergeant. His name is not important, but it is strange that one of them reaches out to us for help. And upon extracting him, he gives us the note. Now, his writing skills could be better, but it's regardless. He tips us off with information that Tal Rieger is doing something down below the sea on Uranus. I don't care if there's any water in Uranus. I don't really care what that means, how that works. But anyway, he pretty much pleads to us he knows that a lot of people are dying down there, a lot of his kind. He knows that that Tal Rieger is doing a very bad idea. He senses it well ahead of everyone else, or like everyone else, wants something done about it, but cannot speak up against him, so he comes to us for help. So he actually directly asks us. But in doing this mission in favor for this Teshin here, the Lotus does take notice and is not impressed by any of the turn of events, which he has intentionally left us out of the loop to keep us safe from our foes. But regardless, we are now caught in the loop and must go forward. So next part of the plan, as now the Lotus now knows what Tal Rieger's up to, is to stop Tal Rieger from drilling, to getting access to sentient catacombs, or tomb, however you want to put it. So when we go there, immediately we draw ourselves to a Tal Rieger, and he's just a little pissed off about the whole Tubin of Rieger business, and is not even remotely impressed that we're now trying to fuck up his whole operation here. Yeah, he's not happy, but it's beside the point. He does not care and continues drilling anyway. Despite Teshin and Lotus warning him, he ignores it, cracks it open, and then unleashes the sentient. Since we don't really have a name for it, we'll just refer to him as the sentient. The sentient, awoken now, ignores everyone and only focuses on the Lotus. It's his sole objective, and that's the only person he communicates with. It's hard to... things get a little confusing, because things start happening in back door. Tal Rieger finds the Exilus mod enhancement in there, but more or less ignoring the possibility of Sentient being in the room with him. Again, this is all left to interpretation of backroom conversations. And when studying it, apparently the Sentient does something. Threatens him, kills a couple of his men, maybe scares the shit out of him. But then he tells everyone to retreat, because he realizes this grave situation that he's woken something that he shouldn't have. Whether he cares or not, that's an entirely different debate. However, the Sentient is out, and Lotus is intent on putting it back where it came from. Okay, and then we come to the last level. The destruction of a sentient, burial, and it's kind of hard to tell what happened to it. So, Lotus sets up more or less a bomb of sorts, and needs it to charge. And when it's charging, there's a four-way conversation, but to be honest, the Sentient only communicates with the Lotus. It ignores Teshin and Tal Rieger. While everyone else is aware of this conversation, the Sentient chooses to ignore them. And they start digging up on the past of the Lotus, more or less accusing her of being a traitor. she's she is very withdrawn of this and does not really let anything slide in front of Talrieger. She keeps a tight lip on everything, even when inquired by Teshin. The thing about the sentient talks about how if they cross about the void and to start the sequence. What he means by this is, I'm guessing, by the old war he means. When the objective, their final objective, because they were on the losing side of the Tenno in the old war, was to take control of the Tenno, since they are rather empty beings of sorts. They try and take control of them and get them out of the hands of the Orokin. Now, it would seem like they were successful. That, as the sentient stated, that Lotus was on the final sequence. The final objective was to destroy the Tenno. They had successfully destroyed the Orokin, dismantled it, left it barren. But she chose to, instead, preserve them, not to kill them. And he's rather, well, not impressed by this. I wouldn't say a display of anger, more of disappointment. More of a disappointed with a father to a child figure, if you had to put it in the context. But regardless, the mission is complete. He disappears for now, with a warning that when he awakes, so will the others, and that he will not be able to protect the Lotus from them like he has before, implying that they are not exactly upstanding individuals to both of them in the eyes of their community, possibly. So after the dust clears, the mission's settled. Then Teshin asks the important question after Talrieger has left. What went on, Lotus, in the past? And she pretty much opens up saying that it's pretty much confirmed at this point that the Lotus is in fact a sentient descendant. Whether that's her real appearance we see every day or not is up for debate. It's very hard to figure that part out. Then she goes on about the reason of why. Their original objective was in fact to destroy the Tenno and destroy the Orokin, which they succeeded. But every mission they did, every time they attacked the Orokin, requires sacrifice. The Orokin's corrupted technology, however it works. The Void. They are not immune to this, like everyone else that goes to the Void are corrupted by it. Every time they went, they lost something in return. They became barren, as they call it. Possibly infertile. And this is why the Lotus did and destroyed the Tenno. She did not want to be alone. Because at that time and period, they destroyed the only intelligent civilization. They were the only ones left. I guess part of her didn't want to be alone, perhaps. That's my speculation. But regardless, she put him into cryosleep. And possibly herself, until much time has passed. So, by defying the sentient, they were left out in the tomb, where she left them. By all means, it sounds like she was supposed to go to sleep with them, or to be sealed with them, for whatever reason. But she chose not to. Now, in the past, the Lotus was always under speculation, because we knew so little about her being good or bad. Well, this answers the question here. Obviously, she's on the side of good. She may be branded a terrorist, may have shady individuals she's in contact with, but she's on the side of the Tenno, and always will be. By all means, she sacrificed much for it. And chances are, down the road, she'll have to sacrifice much more. Anyway, that's a summary. Thanks for watching.